So today we're going to start with a slow flow, just opening up through the heart and the chest and maybe into the lower body. We always want to start our aerial fusion classes with checking our carabiners up above us, making sure they're locked. We also want to make sure that our height is appropriate for our body, making sure that the hammock is within those hip flexor areas, so that when we do kind of go down and go into our inversions or our downward dogs, our head clears the floor. So we'll start out today with placing the hammock behind our back, in the center of our back, letting that hammock flow openly through the center of our back, making sure we grab the hammock with our hands in front, 4 fingers over the top, thumb underneath, and we're gonna gently soften the knees. And we're gonna relax our back into the hammock, letting the back just relax, letting the hammock support us. Starting to gently take some nice deep breaths, relaxing the shoulders open, placing the feet flat on the ground, and lengthening. And just extending back and letting the shoulders relax, supporting the head with your hands. And as we start to move in this place, gently starting to make micro movements with the body, through the shoulders, elevating and extending through the spine, side body. Always making sure we're gently breathing through, relaxing, letting gravity just gently pull and open through the body, creating space. And we can start to incorporate the arms and gently extend the arms out and reach to one side, and then to the other, maintaining that strong alignment as we move through. And again, letting the fabric support us as gravity gently creates space and opens through the body. Excellent. And then from here, we can gently bring it back to center. We can bring our palms onto the fabric and we can soften the knees forward, and we'll come into our floating chair. Here we can extend the legs out wide, and you can feel a little traction through the spine, gently pressing the hands onto the fabric, just letting your hips drop, taking a couple of breaths here. And then we can start to gently extend and bend, extend and bend. If the hammock happens to just elevate on your back, gently reach up and give yourself some space between your back and the hammock. And we're gonna bend and extend. And again, letting the body gently flow with gravity, opening through the hips, taking it a little further, incorporating those arms, really reaching. Gentle flow here, just warming the limbs and the joints and the muscles. Excellent. And then we can take these gently into circles where we start to incorporate the core. So that'll be a bend and lean forward and other side. Good, bend, extend, lean forward. Using somewhat of momentum in your movements, but also engaging the core, the glutes, the quads. We can bring those hands onto the fabric if we want, or we can extend them. There may be a little pressure through the armpits. You can release that by gently bringing yourself up and creating that space between the fabric and your back. Excellent. And then we want to switch sides. Again, gently starting to move and lubricate all of those joints, because we're going to incorporate a lot of movement and a lot of joint action. Excellent. We want to come back to center, back into our hanging chair. From here, we can bring the right foot up onto the right knee and get a nice little hip stretch. Might be a little intense on the back, so take a couple of breaths. You should feel the opening through that hip that's crossed over. We can bring those arms nice and high. We can bring the eyes to the sky. As we continue to take those nice breaths, let gravity gently pull on us. For 3, 2, 1, gently release that foot down. Let's switch. And if we want, we can add a little bit of resistance. We can take one finger, press on the top of that knee, and gently push down, adding a little bit of tension, deepening that stretch. For 3, 2, and 1, and release that out. Reaching up for the fabric, gently pulling yourself up, centering the fabric back again to the upper part of your back. We're going to go through a couple of body gyrations, and here we're going to use every muscle, every joint movement as we go through. So we're going to come down onto our hammock, kind of into our chair again. We can hold the fabric at the shoulders for support. We're going to gently lean forward. We're going to bend the knees forward, draw the hips, and come to a floating plank. If you feel comfortable, you can extend the arms. So we want to be mindful of alignment here. As the hammock holds us and supports us, we can move through and make sure our shoulders are aligned, our hips are aligned, and then we want to gently fold back and come to starting point. Take it all the way back, extend all the way back, reach back, come onto those tiptoes, open and lengthen through the shoulders and the back. Take a couple of breaths and then gently fold and roll forward and take it all the way up again. Rotating through the hips, through the knees, through the tiptoes, bringing those hips as far forward as you can. Taking a couple of breaths here. You can also pedal the feet, engage the soleus, the calf muscles, get a little stretch, and then we can gently float back to starting position. Coming all the way up onto the tiptoes, taking a nice inhale, stretching, lengthening, letting that fabric support you as you open, and gently release and bringing it back forward all the way up to our floating plank. Pedal the feet. Excellent, and taking it back all the way to our starting point. Reaching back, extending, squeezing those glutes into the sky, up onto the tiptoes. Excellent. And gently coming forward and dropping into our air chair.